All right, today we're going to talk about how high finance is getting a serious AI upgrade. Anthropic is dropping a whole new set of tools for its AI Claude, and it's aimed squarely at all the financial pros out there who are, buried in spreadsheets day in and day out. So let's pop the hood and see what this is all about.
If you're in finance, I'm guessing this looks pretty familiar, right? Just swimming in a sea of spreadsheets, trying to stitch together a million different data sources, and just burning hours on all that repetitive manual work. It's the daily grind that really gets in the way of actual strategy. But what if all that could change?
Well, here's the solution that's on the table. Anthropic is taking direct aim at that daily grind with 3 specific, really powerful upgrades for Claude. And each one is designed to completely change how financial analysis gets done. We're talking about a fundamental shift to working smarter, not harder.
Okay, first up, and this one is a huge deal for anyone who basically lives inside of Excel. They're bringing Claude's brain directly into the spreadsheet itself.
It's called Claude for Excel. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like having a brilliant financial analyst sitting right there next to you, ready to go, in a simple sidebar. Its whole job is to understand and work with your spreadsheets in a really, really intelligent way.
And make no mistake, we are not talking about some glorified data entry tool here. The level of intelligence is way beyond that. Claude can literally discuss the structure of a complex model with you. It can make changes while keeping all your formula dependencies perfectly intact. It can find and fix broken formulas for you. And get this, it can build entire complex spreadsheets from scratch just from a simple prompt. This really starts to change the job from being a spreadsheet mechanic to a financial architect. And the way you use it is designed to be incredibly straightforward. You just open the sidebar, you ask Claude for what you need, maybe it's an analysis, maybe it's a change to the model, and it just gets to work. And here's the crucial part. When it's done, it explains every single change it made, so you have full transparency and you're always in control.
Okay, now let's move on to the second major upgrade because this is where it starts to get even more interesting. A financial model is only as good as its data, right? Well, Claude is no longer stuck with static info. It's getting a direct pipeline to the live market. And the way it does this is through something they're calling connectors. Just picture these as secure data pipes that plug Claude directly into the world's best financial information sources, giving it access to what's happening right now.
And the sheer breadth of data here is just incredible. We're talking about real-time earnings call transcripts from Aiera, live market data from LSEG, and deep proprietary credit ratings from Moody's. It can even securely dig through your own company's internal data using Ignite, all while keeping all the access controls and security locked down tight. And just to give you a sense of the quality of this data, take a look at these partners. You've got LSEG for live fixed income, equity, and FX data. You've got Moody's with research and ratings on over 600 million companies. And with Aiera, you can ask Claude about an earnings call that literally just wrapped up a few minutes ago. I mean, for speed and accuracy, this is an absolute game changer.
So let's recap. We've got an AI that understands our spreadsheets, and it has access to live, high-quality data. So what's the third piece of this puzzle? Well, it's putting it all together to handle complex tasks, basically creating a brand new, automated member of your team.
This happens through what Anthropic is calling agent skills. Now, the absolute best way to think about these is as pre-built blueprints, or maybe like recipes, for those really complex financial workflows. Claude is basically handed the instructions, the scripts, and all the resources it needs to run a major task from beginning to end, all on its own. So what kind of multi-step tasks are we talking about here? Well, these are the first 6 skills being rolled out, and we're talking about the heavy hitters, building a full comparable company analysis, creating a DCF model, or even drafting an entire initiating coverage report. Automating these doesn't just save time, it frees up analysts to actually focus on the strategic meaning of the data, not just putting it together.
Okay, so this all sounds incredibly powerful in theory, right? But what about in the real world? How does it actually stack up? Let's take a look at what some of the major players who are already using Claude have to say.
We'll kick things off with a massive name, Citi. Now they're pointing out its advanced planning and what they call agentic capabilities, which is really just a fancy way of saying its ability to handle complex, multi-step jobs by itself. But just as importantly, they call out its safety and reliability, which, as you know in finance, is absolutely non-negotiable. This next quote really gets to the heart of the productivity gains. Tasks that used to take days are now taking hours. And pay attention to that last part. It's winning over even the skeptics. You know, when you hear engineers say they can't imagine working without a tool, you know it's making a real, tangible difference.
But what does that productivity gain actually look like?
Let's put a hard number to it. At one company that's using a Claude-powered agent, that number is 75%.
That's right, 75%. 3/4 of their engineers are now saving 8 to 10 plus hours every single week. I mean, that's not just an efficiency gain. That fundamentally changes the nature of the work they do.
And finally, let's take a look at the future with this quote from Coinbase. They don't just see Claude as a tool for making things faster internally. No, they see it as a core part of achieving their massive, long-term vision of bringing 1 billion people into the crypto economy. So that brings us to the final, and I think most critical question. The whole point of all this tech, the spreadsheet integration, the live data, the agent skills, it's all designed to automate the mechanics, the repetitive, time-sucking parts of the job. And it leaves us all with this thought. When your AI copilot is handling all of that, what new skills, what deeper analysis, and what bigger strategies will you be free to master next?